I started the stream live in 4 seconds or so. I am not seeing anything. Ah, there's April. I see her moving around. I don't know. Okay. This is the welcome to excuse me. Welcome to my coughing fit. All right. I've noticed in the past few months that the subscriber count to this particular channel has doubled, as in 2 people have subscribed. So I decided, okay, what can I do to give them something to watch? I should. So I've been live streaming on other services for about past 6 months or so, and decided, well, I'll go ahead and use this channel. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard. Okay, it's... How do I turn that off? Alright, no, thank you. Okay, thank you, YouTube. I can clearly see that. Could you turn that off now? Anyway, so this is the story of a long time ago when we were at what I would call, in-universe, the Desert Training Center. Oh, pop-up just happened. Capture moments. Thank you. You don't even get the first line read and it disappears on me. Anyway, we're at the Desert Training Center. Desert Training... Yeah. And my squad, this was actually a headquarters company, training. And my squad from our other company, Platoon, we were attached to them. I want to say it politely. For the things I don't like about YT, I have to be a bit polite on things that I have to say. We were the female dogs. No, I can't even say that. We're the KP crew. Yeah, that's right. About 100 people here, and they needed about 10 more to do KP. I can say KP crew. Oof. Yeah, it was. I was not very happy with the situation because we had like a few soldiers who had been in our platoon now for about 6 months to a year, and they had zilch time on the equipment. And I figured this was a perfect opportunity to get them on the equipment. And we actually did have some of our people, but they were actually the older soldiers, the ones who've been there longer, who are out there doing all the stuff on equipment. The newer ones were stuck on KP every other day or so. It was really ticking me off, but there was actually nothing I could do about it. We didn't have any NCOs from my platoon with us. It was just me being senior enlisted at the time. Senior lower enlisted. Yeah, senior junior enlisted. Yeah, senior junior. Wasn't there a show called Junior Senior or something? Anyway, so, we got along pretty well. You know, it was another big, huge platoon of equipment operators and stuff like that, and we got along pretty good, especially, shoot, I forgot to bring up my fake names. Where's my fake name list at? Anyway, I'm not gonna use any names on this, except for one guy, Patch. That's my nickname for him. So yeah, I think I'd never done this before. I'm staring way up there at, I kinda wish YouTube did their things a little bit different. I don't know who's watching, or if I play OBS on the top screen, it's hard for me to see what's going on up there. Because all the information that I want is down here. Let's see. Maybe I can push this down here. I can still see a few things and then bring OBS down enough. No, don't do that, Windows, please. Punch it down. Yes, I get at least. I need to bring. Anyway, oh, thank you, Chrome. Okay, so he decided to have some fun. Okay, so things are pretty boring. Things were pretty restless. Things were not fun. And we were doing all kinds of things other than what we really intended to do as equipment operators. Anyway, it says, for the army life, deal with it. Suck it up and drive on. until okay, try and keep the story under 10 minutes, which I'm totally failing to do. Soldier, Patch, which I'll call him Patch. And the things go well here, I will talk about why I nicknamed him that. So, here we go. He decided he was gonna add a little extra gunpowder to the blank ammunition. I know, that's a live round I got there. I really couldn't find blank rounds for sale anywhere. The biggest difference between a live round and blank round is that big, metal jacket on top there is removed and the end is crimped in and sealed with wax. Describe Patch. If you needed equipment operated, he was your guy. You told him to do something that's something that not all that army related, he'd do it. But when it comes to being a soldier, no. Good guy and all that, but yeah, you know, his soldiering. It wasn't a terrible soldier at all. It's just a case of it was a mistake for him to go into the army. He didn't really need to be there. He could have done very well on a civilian side. It's just that, you know, doing stuff like putting uniforms on, shining boots, and stuff like that tells you how old I am. And the information and all that stuff, you can trust him. But it just seemed like he was in the wrong place, wrong time. I've met a few soldiers like that over the years. But he was bored one day and decided he was going to add a little extra stank to the ammo. Where is... There. I lost track of it. Okay, I guess I have no choice. Maybe I can put up there and... We'll try and keep this. And I don't know really how he was going to do it, because, well, if you want to, because I'm not going to put in too many, I'm not going to use any pictures that I don't take myself. On other services, I do use all kinds of pictures because I can get away with it. Here on YouTube, I can't. Oh, wow, 7 minutes, and I still, haven't really gotten to the point of the story yet. Okay. Anyways, he decided he was going to cut a hole in the side of the ammo, and I guess he was going to, probably brought some gunpowder with himself, or he's going to cut a hole in the side of another piece of ammo, and just kind of like tap them together, or something like that. It really didn't make any sense to me, and I'd already had like a few years in the army, but I don't know anything about ammo, about ball ammunition or blanks. I don't know how they're made. I don't know how they're put together. I just kind of assumed that the entire, unfortunately, I don't think the cursor shows up, but that the entire round is, oh wait, I do have something I can draw. Tools, docks. I got the draw dock. Let's see. How do we turn the draw dock on? Erased. Oh, I gotta do it right. So I just assumed that the entire thing is just completely full of ammo, just completely full of gunpowder. And you can't, even on a blank round, you just can't stuff more into there. But he was going to do it anyway, and, you know, me not being a hunter, me not knowing much about weapons and stuff, and, you know, I mean, I can't tell you the basic differences between an M16 and an M916. But that's about it from my level of knowledge even to this day. I don't know anything. So I just kind of, you know, thought, okay, he's a hunter, he plays around with ammo, he probably makes his own ammo, so I'm just gonna, like, just stand back and let him have his fun. If I move... and that's it, you know, I just kind of left it alone, but unfortunately for him, somebody overheard it that, I don't know who, I heard it was one of the medics overheard. And now, all of a sudden, a couple of days later, we all had to have a nice little formation. Let's see. Oh, yeah, not that one. There we go. There, we had to have a new formation out here. I struggled with this. Was I going to take pictures of little army men? Was I going to put like 100 different little Aprils in there? Was I going to use an AI? Since I have to do the chat box for AI anyway because of April, I'm going to update the description for this. And that will make sure people know that April's not real. The voice isn't real. Nothing about her is real. Except for the guy behind the mic is really crazy. And if you got any issues with the guy at the mic, take it up with the cartoon fox. So the commander got wind of this and held a formation where he asked everybody, most people, one simple little question. Do you know anything about the alleged modifications to the blank rounds? So we try here it is. Here's the captain right here. You can tell because you can see the teeniest little no captain's bars right there I drew on there. So what he did is, you get just from the platoon sergeant, then go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back around, do it again, do this, do this, do this, do this. Yeah, oh, by the way, I think I kind of did this so you can tell. This was about an hour and a half to 2 hours of this. This was worse than the PLVC, yes, I'm old, where I had to stand for about 3 hours in my class A's to get inspected. Because once again, PLVC, I was back here. And almost see me. Unfortunately, it doesn't. And so it's doing this and this and this and this and bum 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 bum, and then up here, and then going down here. I mean, and that. Now, I researched this, and from what I could see, there's nothing in civilian law about modifying ammo. I could not find it anywhere. I googled and googled and googled. When it comes to the Uniform Code of Military Justice, there's nothing in there. Why is am I missing something here? I just noticed that. How far behind is it up there? Because it's still showing the fat round. Connecting stream and software to go live. Viewers will be able to find the stream once you go live. Okay. For some reason, it was just kind of stuck on that one scene for quite a while. I don't know. Hopefully it didn't show that, oversized stuffed round for like the last 10 minutes. Okay, so where did I put Captain Bullethead at? There he is. So I looked up UCMJ. There's nothing in the UCMJ that I saw that I could find that says you cannot modify the ammo. Now, I do remember back in basic training being told, do not sharpen the tips of your rounds. Don't do that. But there are things like obeying lawful orders and disobeying lawful orders and stuff like that. And I think a catch-all 134, I believe it is. I could look it up right now, but let's see. I can do this right now. Let's see. Was it Power Code 134? There is Article U4. Oh, is that adultery? Is a broad general article that encompasses a wide range of offenses not specifically defined elsewhere in the UCMJ. It covers offenses that are prejudicial to good order and discipline. Okay, yeah. So that's what they can get you on. That 134 gets you every time. Now, so of course, there's nothing really against it. But however, there is one called, and me double check. Isn't this nice? Yeah, all sorts of prepared. You see it. To a commissioned officer. Article 107, false official statement. Yeah. Yeah, so again, we're back here. Now, using Captain Bulletman. Patch Patch was standing somewhere right around here, if I remember correctly. Well, gets to Patch, and I couldn't really hear much. Yeah, I know, big old fox here can't hear with those ears, you know, it's like all those ears on 6 cylinders in a rushing wind. I do believe that he did ask Patch 2 questions, and I can't make people put hand in the air with 2. And that is, do you know anything about, are you sure about that specialist? Yes, sir. Okay, now he moves on. He's going down the ranks, come up here, and then he gets to me, eventually, finally. And again, asks me, Specialist, do you know anything about the modifications to the ammo? No, sir. Are you sure about that, Specialist? Yes, sir. And he continued on down, and soldiers of my platoon, of my squad, and gets up here and has a nice little speech. Okay. If I find out who it is that if I find out that the modifications were true, I will, and whoever did it, I will punish under UCMJ. And everybody that covered for him, if I find out that anybody lied, I will punish them in accordance with UCMJ. And he said, okay, now go to work. I noticed, Patch and I, we really didn't get along too well, or he kind of looked at me with after that, he kind of had a little bit more respect for me. Oh, yeah, on this mission is a Patch story for you. To describe how Patch is as a soldier and an equipment operator. It is 9/16/9/20. He spit all over the floor. And I'm getting in there like, what the hell, dude? Spit over it, what the hell? I don't want to spit outside the window, because it get over the side. Dude, that's my truck, I clean it up. It's like, ooh, ugh. Making sure not to put any of my gear on the floor, rest the butt of my weapon on my foot. He put it on the, OVM bar. Dude, please. Ugh, where's the operator? Oh, there we go. So, you may think that this is a good commander, but I got a story about the, Oh, we had a nice little year analysis out here, but I'll tell that for another story. You would think that someone who's an O3, who's been in the Army for well in excess of 5 years, upwards to about 10, would know better. No, it was one of the worst truck tests I ever had to suffer through. Anyway, that's really about it for what I wanted to talk about, and I talked a lot longer than I wanted to. But I did make this video, so I did make this additional video, so let's go ahead and wait, there it is. Alright, so I was trying to demonstrate what the heck it is that Patch was doing. He used his Leatherman to kind of file a hole in the side of the ammo. I'm just kind of demonstrating it right here. Got all these white and blue, red and blue lines all over the place that I have to see that you can't see. I'm just kind of guessing what his plan was. So I just, kind of cut a hole in the side there. And then, I guess oh, by the way, do you like the kayfabe? How's the kayfabe working for you? And doing that, I guess that was the plan where he had a big old can in a funnel. There it is. Let's see, I got, looks like another 30 seconds of whatever going on around here. Putting stuff back, I don't know. I've already told the story once for another service, and I actually made another video for that. There's one of my old Leathermans that is actually a long time ago, and that was his plan. By the way, I am not going to demonstrate on YouTube what he would have done. I actually went out and bought a hacksaw. Anyway, that's it for that. I don't think I really have much more to say about this story. For some reason, in real life, I can always tell it within 1 minute. But when I'm online like this, it takes me about 30 minutes to an hour to tell it. So I'm hoping that anybody who's recently subscribed to my to this one particular channel. I will do a couple more live streams. I don't have any scheduled for them. I try to get them down on Saturdays and stuff earlier on. Wow, it's getting kind of pretty late in the afternoon where I live. I gotta go feed the cats, and then I gotta go on to another service to do this live streaming. I'll be doing live streaming Mega Man Maker. So, anyway, it looks like nobody's dropped in. Oh, anyway, that's one glary way to get him to shut up. Nobody shows up. Okay, 20 minutes. Okay, that's it. Hello there.